It should have been one of the best times in Selena Gomez's life. She was happy, thinking about her future, getting ready for her wedding, and truly enjoying the moment. But somehow, Justin Bieber kept showing up, if not in person, then on social media. He started posting messages on Instagram that didn't name anyone directly, but fans were quick to notice they seemed to be about Selena. And just when it looked like things had settled down, Hailey Bieber got pulled into the mix too, whether she wanted to or not. Selena's every move still seems connected to her past in some way. Even the man she's engaged to now, Blanco, has a link to that history. He used to be close to Justin, which adds a complicated twist. It raises a question. Is this new chapter really a fresh start? Or is it tangled up in old memories that never truly left? From what we can see, Selena and Benny seem to get along really well. They keep their relationship private without unnecessary drama or attention. They look happy and comfortable together. Benny speaks about Selena in such a caring way, saying she's the best thing that's ever happened to him. And he sounds genuine. It doesn't feel like he's trying to impress anyone. You can tell he truly means it when he talks about making her happy. Unlike her past relationships, this one seems healthier and more peaceful. Selena gets space when she needs it. Benny doesn't push her or demand attention. He simply waits and supports her. He once mentioned he doesn't even need to be right next to her all the time. Just knowing she's nearby is enough. He said he loves being able to yell, "I love you," from another room and then go back to whatever he's doing. That kind of calm love might be exactly what Selena was missing before. But as soon as everything started falling into place, the past showed up again. When Benny proposed, fans expected it to be simple and heartfelt. And that's how it looked at first. Just the two of them outside, sharing takeout food and a quiet moment. But some people noticed that the setup looked a little too perfect. What should have been a private, sweet moment started to feel like a photo shoot. The Taco Bell bags were arranged just right, and the overhead camera angle made the whole thing look like a planned ad. People online even joked that it seemed more like a fast food commercial than a proposal. That made some wonder if the moment was real or designed for attention. Then there's Benny himself. He always talks about how much he loves Selena and how committed he is to her. Most of the time, that kind of talk is comforting. But when someone says it too often, people start wondering if they're trying too hard to convince others, or maybe even themselves. Benny often criticizes guys who don't treat women right and encourages women not to settle. But at the same time, he's admitted to things like not showering regularly and having bad hygiene habits. That contradiction made some people question whether he's as perfect as he sounds. So, while the engagement looked romantic on the surface, it also raised a few red flags. And just when people started wondering whether this new relationship was as solid as it seemed, Justin made another appearance, this time through his usual method, cryptic Instagram posts. As soon as the engagement news hit the internet and fans started reacting, Justin shared a quote that made people stop and look. He didn't mention Selena, but the timing and message were hard to ignore. One post said, "Telling other humans they deserve something is like raising someone else's kids. Who are you to decide what someone should or shouldn't have? God decides what we deserve." That post came right after Selena publicly showed support for Hailey Bieber, encouraging her and reminding her that her voice matters. That show of support from Selena was unexpected. Given all the history between her, Justin, and Hailey, people didn't expect her to say anything, let alone something kind. But she did, and it was simple but powerful. It looked like Selena was trying to show empathy and maturity. But Justin seemed to take it personally. Not long after her message, his Instagram stories took a darker tone. He started talking about how only God can judge what people deserve, and added something about not staying in relationships out of fear of being alone. Fans couldn't help but think he was upset. Maybe he was watching Selena finally move on, planning her wedding, being genuinely happy. And that got to him. Some thought he was just being emotional, while others believed his posts had deeper meaning. They were vague but perfectly timed, making it hard not to assume they were aimed at someone specific. Through all of it, Selena stayed silent. She didn't respond. But one person who was stuck in the middle of it all also stayed quiet. Hailey Bieber. Hailey didn't ask to be in the middle of another online mess. She had her own things going on. She had just landed a major Vogue cover, and her skincare brand, Rhode, had been picked up by Sephora. It should have been a great moment in her career. But instead of celebrating it with her, Justin posted something that fans thought sounded more sarcastic than supportive. That's when Selena stepped in again. She liked to post about Hailey's success and followed it up with a message saying, "You matter, your voice matters. You are worth so much more." It was short but meaningful. It showed that Selena might understand how hard it is to be in the spotlight like that and was trying to be kind. Justin didn't seem to like it. Soon after Selena's comment, he shared another one of his mysterious posts. This time, he went back to the idea that only God can decide who deserves what. It felt like a passive-aggressive response to Selena's kindness. And now, Hailey seemed stuck between her husband's public emotions and the surprising support from his ex. Hailey hasn't said anything publicly. She hasn't posted, given interviews, or made any statements. But the internet hasn't stopped talking. People are studying her recent photos and interviews, looking for signs. Some think she looks stressed or unhappy. Others think people are reading too much into it. Either way, the pressure is clearly there. Things get even more complicated when you remember Benny Blanco's past. A lot of people know him as a music producer and songwriter, but not everyone knows that he used to work closely with Justin. Years ago, they spent time together in the studio, making music and going through highs and lows. Those experiences seem to have shaped how Benny sees relationships now. He said in interviews that he's learned what not to do by watching others make mistakes. He didn't name names, but it wasn't hard for fans to guess who he might have been talking about. He once said that seeing someone ruin a relationship made him think, "I'll never treat someone like that." That sounded like a clear reference to Justin's messy history with Selena. All of this adds layers to what should be a happy time in Selena's life. On the surface, it looks like she's finally found peace, but the shadow of her past relationship still lingers, showing up in Instagram stories, awkward silence, and uncomfortable public moments. Selena seems to be doing her best to move forward. She's staying calm, focused, and out of the drama. But the people around her, her ex, her fiancé, and even Hailey, are still caught in the ripples of a story that refuses to fade. Benny has said he doesn't just learn from people's mistakes, he also learns from the good things they do. When he sees someone doing something thoughtful or meaningful, he keeps it in mind. He once mentioned thinking, "That's a great idea. I'm going to try that." It shows that even though he's building something new with Selena, he's still carrying lessons from her past. He's not pretending it didn't happen. He's using it to help shape what comes next. But that makes you wonder, is this truly a fresh start? Or is it just a version of something that already existed? Even with the chaos happening online, Selena seems focused on what really matters, her future with Benny. Their wedding plans are moving ahead slowly, and while they haven't shared much, there have been some small signs. Ed Sheeran mentioned he'd been told about the wedding, which got people talking. Benny later clarified that it wasn't an official invitation, just a heads up. That might mean they're still finalizing things, or maybe they're just keeping everything quiet and personal. What's becoming obvious is that Selena doesn't care about having the perfect traditional wedding. She said she's probably skipping the first dance because it makes her feel awkward. That's a small detail, but it speaks volumes. Even though she's been in the public eye for so long, she still feels nervous about being too exposed, especially during such a personal moment that's sure to draw a lot of attention. Beneath all the planning and public curiosity, there's something much deeper happening in Selena's life. She's shared before that she lives with lupus, a serious autoimmune disease. It's not just about her physical health, it's affected her thoughts about starting a family. She's been open about the risks pregnancy would bring, both for her and for a child. Most celebrities keep that kind of information private, but Selena has never been afraid to be honest, even about the hard stuff. Benny, on the other hand, has always talked about how much he loves kids. He's mentioned how proud he is to be an uncle and how he hopes to become a dad someday. Whether that means having children through adoption, surrogacy, or another route, it looks like he and Selena are willing to figure it out together. That kind of quiet teamwork, the stuff that happens away from cameras and without big announcements, is what shows who they are when the spotlight is off. Their relationship isn't perfect, but it feels honest. While fans are busy imagining the wedding, hoping for new songs, or searching for hints online, Selena is focused on building something real. She's trying to move forward in a way that feels right for her, and that's never been easy, especially with her past constantly popping back up. And as expected, Justin's name keeps showing up right along with it. Someone who's always been there for Selena is Taylor Swift. Their friendship isn't just for photos or award shows, it's deep and personal. Taylor once said that she could probably forgive people who've hurt her, but not someone who hurt Selena. Everyone knew exactly who she meant. That one comment said more than a long explanation ever could. It showed just how protective she is of Selena and how seriously she takes their bond. When things were hard for Selena, Taylor didn't just send a text, she flew out to be with her. No press, no interviews, just real support. Selena has said many times that Taylor is one of her closest friends, someone who's been there when others weren't. Recently, they were spotted having dinner together in New York. There was no huge crowd, no glam team, just two friends catching up. With everything Selena has going on, her engagement, past drama with Justin, and even Hailey, it's easy to imagine they had a lot to talk about behind the scenes. Fans joke online that Taylor always sits quietly and listens while Selena unloads her emotions. And maybe that's true. Their friendship has balance. Taylor's calm and steady. Selena's more open and expressive, but underneath all the laughs and catch-ups, there's a strong foundation. They've been through a lot together, and Taylor has been someone Selena could always count on, especially when things got hard because of Justin. Now that Selena's getting married, Taylor seems determined to make sure nothing from the past ruins this chapter. But even she can't stop everything, especially not Justin, who still hasn't let go. Every time Selena reaches a new milestone, he posts something. Whether it's a Bible verse or a quote about loyalty or judgment, his messages seem to line up a little too perfectly with what's happening in Selena's life. It's hard not to notice. Selena posts a supportive message for Hailey. Justin suddenly shares a quote about how only God decides who deserves what. Selena posts a happy moment. He follows up with a cryptic post about love or loneliness. Fans have started to think he's keeping tabs on her in some way. Whether it's through private accounts or fan pages, it feels like he hasn't completely moved on. Some people think Justin is bothered by the idea that someone like Benny, who used to work closely with him, is now building a future with Selena. Others think he's just overwhelmed by everything and using social media to vent. Either way, it's obvious that he hasn't quietly stepped out of the picture. Not because Selena keeps bringing him up, but because he keeps inserting himself, whether directly or not. Even now, as Selena is trying to start a new chapter, it seems like Justin is still watching. Maybe he's only now realizing what he lost. But Selena doesn't seem to be stuck there anymore. She's moving forward, doing what feels right for her. The real question now is, can she finally close the door on that part of her life, even if it keeps trying to open itself again? Selena's doing what she's always said she wanted to do. She's with someone who treats her well. She's making music that comes from a good place. She's planning a wedding that feels true to who she is. For the first time, her life feels like it belongs to her and not to the public. She's not chasing some idea of perfection, and she's not trying to make people like her. But in the world she lives in, the past doesn't disappear. It just takes on new forms. Justin might be married, Hailey might be focused on her brand. But the old connections are still there. In social media posts, online rumors, and the constant comparisons fans keep making. That part of fame is something Selena never asked for, but she has to deal with anyway. Even as she moves forward with Benny, there's still a part of her life that feels connected to what came before. People wonder if Justin's still watching. They wait to see if Hailey will respond. They keep speculating, even when there's nothing new to talk about. But maybe that's where Selena shows how strong she really is. She doesn't pretend none of it happened. She just doesn't let it rule her anymore. She's not rewriting her story. She's continuing it without apology. There are no big statements, no dramatic exits, just quiet confidence. This time, she's choosing peace over attention, and she doesn't owe anyone an explanation.